Hello everyone, on today's IRS tax update, we are just 2 weeks away from the start of the next tax season, so we will recap where things stand before the filing period begins and take a look at one of the biggest causes of refund delays we are going to face this year. We will also check in on those still waiting on last year's tax refunds and highlight some important key factors when checking those tax transcripts and why they are often more reliable than the "Where's my refund" option on the IRS website. Now, recapping the latest as we approach the new tax season, as the IRS will begin to accept tax returns for processing on Monday, January 29th. For those of you claiming the Earned Income Tax Credit or Child Tax Credit, your tax return will automatically be placed on hold due to the PATH Act until mid-February, which means you will not receive your tax refund before late February. The tax filing deadline for most is set for Monday, April 15th, while those in Maine and Massachusetts will have until April 17th to file their federal income taxes, and parts of Tennessee impacted by storms will have until June 17th to file. Do make sure to have all tax forms accounted for before filing your federal taxes, as any income that is not reported will result in additional refund delays, and the likelihood you will eventually need to file an amended return. Currently, processing for amended returns is averaging 6 to 7 months. For those of you viewers who are still waiting on last year's tax refunds, the IRS has stopped providing any additional updates on the remaining back from last year. However, as of their last update, there were still 686,000 unprocessed tax returns remaining, with 600,000 of those being e-file returns and ones requiring special processing, while unprocessed paper returns were at 86,000. Meanwhile, at last count, there were still 844,000 amended returns unprocessed, and with 6 to 7 month average processing times, these are among some of the slowest returns to be processed. Now, while the IRS continues to process the backlog from last year, it is likely that tax returns filed this year will be processed before yours. Now, one of the biggest delays for those tax refunds this year will be the tax return is under additional review or even audit. There are several different reasons why this may happen, starting off with something as simple as a data entry error, or what the IRS refers to as a math error, when the taxpayer accidentally enters an incorrect number or numbers when working on their tax returns. Now, this is actually a very common problem. And just 3 years ago, the IRS informed over 17 million tax filers that their tax return contained a math error. The good news is that usually when it comes to math errors, the IRS has the ability to automatically adjust the tax return without having you to submit additional paperwork or even amending your tax return to correct the problem. If you're impacted by this problem, the IRS will issue you out a math error notice, such as the CP13 letter explaining the situation, and even giving you the chance to dispute the change by the IRS. Also, if you fail to report income, that is going to lead to additional delays, as the IRS computer system will detect a mismatch when it comes to your tax return, compared to what employers and businesses have reported they paid you over the course of the year. In this situation, expect additional delays and the need to file an amended tax return to correct the issue. If you're claiming either the Earned Income Tax Credit or Child Tax Credit, then there is an increased chance your return will be audited, even if you were audited in previous years. As we have seen in the last several years, there are taxpayers who are improperly claiming that credit, and as a result, the IRS estimated they paid out nearly 1/3 of Earned Income Tax Credit claims that were improperly filed. So as a result, the IRS has taken additional steps to review those tax returns, claiming those credits, which are leading to extended wait times for those tax refunds. If you're impacted by this, locate the 420 or 424 code on your tax transcripts and expect to receive a notice in the mail informing you of the situation and the need to submit additional paperwork to substantiate your claim for the credit in question. Now, continue to recommend checking your tax transcripts, as oftentimes it will provide more information than checking your refund status results on the IRS website. However, when it comes to transcripts, there are multiple things to decipher, so we are going to recap some of those things to know. One of the most common asked questions about transcripts is, what exactly is the processing date, and will your tax return be processed by that date? Usually the answer is no. The processing date is something the IRS computer automatically assigns, and it is the goal date the system has for processing your return. Now, it is very likely you will see that date change multiple times, especially if you encounter a delay relating to an additional review and audit. So it is important to note the processing date is not to be relied upon. The next commonly asked item pertains to the cycle code as seen here. Now your cycle code will end in 01, 02, 03, 04, and 05. These cycle codes will indicate what batch cycle you are on with a significant amount, reporting theirs is 05. So one of the ways this impacts you is depending on your code is when you can expect to see updates to your transcript. And where's my refund on the IRS website? If your code is 01 through 04, you can expect to see transcript updates on Tuesdays and updates to where's my refund results on Wednesdays. And if your code ends in 05, then you can expect transcript updates usually on Fridays and updates to where's my refund status results on Saturdays. If you are experiencing delays, you are likely to see a 570 code on your tax transcript, which indicates a stop has been placed on issuing your tax refund until action is taken on your account by the IRS, usually in the form of an additional review, and you will need to wait for either the 571 or 572 code before that refund can in fact be sent. The 971 code will represent a notice being sent to you, and it is important to note if you have not received a letter from the IRS in the mail within 2 weeks of the date listed next to the 971 code that you should reach out to the IRS for a replacement letter to be issued. Ultimately, the 846 code as seen here will indicate when your refund was issued either as a paper check or direct deposit. However, the transcript will not indicate which method the tax refund was sent. Let us know in the comments section below about your ongoing tax issue. In the meantime, we will keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.